What up, you lab rats? This is episode number 125, and today we're going to talk about, am I worth what I'm charging? Stay tuned. Hey, welcome back to the lab, your daily inspiration for creating better content. My name is Megan.
I'm Kevin.
Let's get in the lab. All right. That was clean.
Yeah.
That was clean. You know why? Because we worked out.
Yeah.
So I feel like the energy is brought for the show. I think that's really important. Maybe we make that a routine. We work out and then we shoot the show instead of like, oh, we got to shoot the show.
Well, we're also shooting on Sunday, so we never shoot on Sunday.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. So as we're finding out what kind of works for us, you know, like systemizing our workflow and making that a whole lot better. Yeah. I think this is nice to be shooting on Sunday, but it's not always that you're shooting on Sunday.
Yeah.
So we got to figure it out. But anyway, some housekeeping. Like we said, we just came back from climbing. We had a really fun time.
Tackling some new problems.
Problems, yeah. What are problems?
So problems are basically different holds in rock climbing. So they just get smaller and smaller or more technical with their footwork.
Very cool.
So
we're having so much fun with climbing. And for the next episode with you and I, we'll talk about rock climbing and the lessons that we learned. Yeah. But today we're going to talk about, am I worth what I'm charging? Because I think that's something I think I definitely struggle with this. And so I wanted to bring this up to you, especially with the workshop coming up and why I had priced it at such a low price, even though I know that it's worth a lot more. But let's go ahead and kind of break down why I charged what I charged, and then we can kind of get into your philosophies on pricing and charging and kind of feeling like, am I worth what I'm charging? So,
yeah.
Oh, we forgot our couples 1, 2, 3 tag.
Okay.
Okay, couples 1, 2, 3. Answer this question. Here, you pick one, B.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you can meet a famous dead person, whom would you like to meet?
A famous dead person. Shit. Famous dead. You go first.
Oh, well, me, I don't really know names.
Really? No names?
I think I would meet... okay, he won a lot of awards. Hoffman or something.
Philip Seymour Hoffman?
Yeah, I'll meet that dude.
Oh, make it rain.
Yeah.
Attila the Hun.
I don't know who that is.
What? Attila the Hun?
Yeah.
Okay. He's a crazy Hun lord in China, Mongol. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Doesn't ring a bell.
We were just watching what do you call that? Marco Polo.
I think you watched it more than I did, but
yeah.
I don't.
Genghis Khan's like dad or something. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into today's show. So let's talk about how do you know what you're worth? So what are your philosophies on how did you kind of start charging what you charge? What are the kind of what's the system? Like if I was just going to be like, okay, I want to start a workshop, right? Like what we're doing. What should I charge? What are the kind of things that you go through? Like, what's your process?
Well, to figure out what I was worth, starting off photography was I'm just doing basically what you did was to offer a free workshop, which you kind of gather people together and just kind of test yourself.
Yeah.
You know, see how many people you can speak in front of and see everyone responding and providing you feedback based on that workshop, which everyone needs that foundation. They need to feel that, I would say being more, what's that word?
Confident?
Yeah, more confident that you're able to do that type of work. So for myself in photography, I knew off the bat, whatever my friends were charging up in like 4,000s or 5,000s per wedding, I knew I wasn't there yet because my work couldn't speak for itself. And I haven't found my style to where, I'm truly confident in charging this price.
Yeah.
And it's just not a price. It's also knowing how much time you're putting into that shoot that you're currently doing.
Right.
Knowing how much your expenses cost, such as like uploading these into these compact flash or these SD cards that cost about $65 each, or the cameras that you're using. All that takes into your expenses and how much you're going to be charging.
So do you break it down like, say, these are my costs, and then so we have costs, and then we have the subjective work, which is your art.
Yeah.
And then you have your time.
Yeah, you have your time, you have your subjective work.
Yeah.
Your creative work.
Right. That's
that you built over time.
Right.
Right.
But what if you're first starting out?
And when you're first starting out, that's not even there. Yeah. You're just taking that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're just charging for your time. You're charging for the amount of time that in the back end that you're doing, as well as the equipment you're currently using.
Okay.
As well as, mainly your business side, as in like business licensing, taxes, and all that deal.
Gotcha. So would you say that since photography has a sort of product, right? Would you say that's different from somebody like me who's starting a workshop, and it's a product, like they do get something, but then at the same time it's also an experience. So, which I can argue too, there's an experience when you hire us as photographers, right? Or when they hire you. So do you see a line there in the difference of how somebody would structure pricing for something like an event versus something like photography?
I think it's fairly similar. Yeah. Because it's all about the experience actually in wedding photography. And if your clients are able to resonate with you, then they'll go with you. If they feel like you guys aren't clicking, then they'll choose someone else that they can click better with. Because all it comes down to is if those clients are comfortable in front of the camera. Yeah. So as for your clients, are they comfortable in sitting in the same room as you and listening to you because they like you, or they feel like you're annoying whenever, like, whatever you're talking about.
Then they wouldn't even buy.
Yeah, then they won't even buy into you. So it's sort of the same way in that perspective, as well as you're trying to find a venue to kind of host this, right? So that goes into factor, such as besides venue, I have to find a really great computer that can keep up with my work in editing. So hosting an event, prep time, the amount of time that you're prepping before the workshop,
marketing
is all within that price. Right. Marketing campaigns such as like Facebook ads or just any ads, right? It all goes into the same cost of what it's worth charging for each person. So I feel like in relative, like, to workshops and photography, it can be very similar. Yeah. But yours is like coming from foreground where you're doing a bunch of prep work beforehand. Yeah. And then once that day is there, there's nothing else afterwards. Right. Whereas I'm taking my work back home and
and then more work
happens after that.
So it's sort of a different cycle of things. So let's go ahead and break down why. Let's use the workshop for example. So the workshop started at an early bird price of $97, right? And the reason why we structured it like that is because, one, it feels like to me, because the theme of this week is masterminding, and like this was one of the issues that I brought up to my first masterminding group that I went to a couple of weeks ago. And then I was telling them I feel kind of bad like asking for sales now because I've gotten into the habit of just giving stuff away for free. But then at the same time, it can very much like keep me up at night and being like, okay, when am I going to start making money, right? Which is like, I think a lot of people ask themselves that. Like, okay, I've given so much already. When do I start to make money? So after I wrestled with that, it really comes down to, which I got, help and feedback from the group. And they were like, well, it's not about you. It's about the person that needs that information, that needs to, get the benefit of the values that you're offering. So are those things worth it? So I guess like what we're trying to break down is like, are the values, the benefits that you're putting out worth what you're charging? And that, what do you think? Is that subjective? How do you go about placing a number on the value?
Yeah, it shouldn't be it shouldn't be subjective. It should be based in your inner gut. Like, I'm worth this.
I'm worth this.
If you know yourself, you're worth it, then you charge it.
Okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be the public controlling what you should be worth. Yeah. Like, oh, she's not totally worth it. Don't intend. Like, yeah. Because it's definitely you.
Yeah.
It's all your content that you're building. And of course it's your business, and you should take control of what you're worth.
See, I already know this, but then I feel like me being on the inside, being stuck in the inside, and like it's different when you see it in somebody else. You can go, hey, it's you that makes the decision about your business, and that's exactly what I would say to somebody else.
Which is relatively the same as in there are a few couples out there saying, oh, can you capture this shot the same exact way? It will never be the same exact way. You're going to add your flavor to it. Yeah. No one can replicate perfectly, right? So it's up to you. It's your business. You have control over your own standards, and you're going to execute it that way. And no one can kind of control you from the outside, right? Because they're not contributing to your business. Right. You're the only person that's making the business live.
Right.
Yeah. So you get to make that personal decision of what you're worth.
That's
true.
But
what you're worth is basically, you're going to know. Yeah, you're going to have that feeling, like your gut feeling. It will just come out of you like randomly, like, oh, this is way too high for me. I can't be charging this. I know for sure. Yeah. But you'll know the content that you're producing is worth.
I sometimes feel I go back and forth about, because of what we're offering is a lot. At the same time, we're not a very well-established brand. And so you kind of have these like prerequisites, and then you fill them in or you don't fill them in, and then you see where you are on the line once you filled out all of these kind of check boxes, or you didn't check a box or whatever. So like, I don't know, how do you feel about us charging what we're charging for this workshop? You're contributing, you're a part of it, not completely.
I would say the photography side
is really low.
Is very low. Yeah. Because with just photography alone, and the experience we have behind portraits and how to capture a really nice portrait and the right angles, and the theory behind portrait photography is way beyond
I think
price.
So too. And I think perhaps that's up to me to market to our audience and say, hey, this is crazy valuable. And then being able to do that in not a pushy way or a salesy way or something like that.
But then every now and then, like I said, when you're starting out, you want to have fun with it. Yeah. So throw some of those deals out there. Yeah. Just make friends.
I think that's the big thing too. It was like, I talked to Jared, and he was like, you just need to get people to see you, basically. Yeah. And if you place this high wall, like I do know what those portraitures are worth from us. Yeah. Like it's $350 an hour from us, basically, right? That's our standard. But if we place this huge wall in front of people and we're telling them that this is what we are, it's not just this, and they have a sort of expectation.
There should not be a comparison of the photography side with Get in the Lab. Right. Yeah, Get in the Lab is still fresh. Yeah. It's still new. It's not 5 years or 6 years old.
And it's different. Yeah, like nobody's really throwing in is throwing in their photography skill with their podcast and trying to make that work. So, and I think that in a way is a benefit for us because it's different. It is different. So how did you ever struggle with I would say but like how you're very good at still being able to kind of read your market and going it
was different times. It was 2008 where photography wasn't blooming back then, especially weddings, until people start seeing the potential of growing a business within photography. And you have a lot of those photographers, or a lot of people just invest into photography, and just 40% of them just leave because they can't manage a business. And they were just copying all the time, and copying only can take so long until they get burnt out. But I think that was off topic. No, but anyways, in 2008, I felt, let's build a strong foundation. Yeah. And I had a lot of times on my hand because I was in school. Yeah. I there wasn't another daily job I had to pay attention to. So let's grow it slow. Yeah. So I did a lot of side shots That's like the pro bono side of me. Like, I really didn't care about the money. I really want to hone in my craft before.
Oh, that's really key too. I want to hit on that as well. I think the big reason why we're charging so low, and that was the big reason too, is like you don't want to put this wall, because you have fun just helping people, and you have fun just being with people and holding events and being in that kind of environment. And like you, it's like we're practically giving away a lot of stuff for free, but we love it. So, well, I love it. I mean, I really
don't think twice about it. I just do it.
Yeah.
So in 2008, I did a lot of pro bono gigs. Followed a photographer around for probably a good 2 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, I was just trying to gain my craft down during that time. And from there until they said, I think it's time for you just to start your own thing. And I was scared, but you have to take that, that first step with anything. And you're going to make mistakes like everyone does, but you're going to kind of fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's when I knew that definitely I wasn't worth $2,000. That photographer provided me that second shooter, or that feel of photographing my own wedding, knowing that, he charges $2,000. I can't charge $2,000 because clearly I don't know what to do in a wedding, during that time.
Right.
So
you have to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you have to be honest with yourself. And that's why I did it for free. I did 10 free weddings just to know how a wedding works, know what to capture, what's important.
Yeah.
As well as, knowing my style. But style is so subjective.
Ever evolving as well.
It's always evolving. Like every year you could see my portfolio is always changing.
Yeah.
You just sort of just change as a person, and your style just changes.
Right.
People that don't change in photography are not innovative.
Yeah.
Sorry, but
It's true.
It's true. It gets boring.
If you can't keep up.
If you just keep doing the same thing over. So.
Yeah. The templated shot list. Well said. I think that makes me feel a lot better, because I wrestle with my own guilt. I think of charging and wanting, being very romantic about the idea of wanting to give everything away for free. Like, seriously, that's how much I love podcasting and creating content and helping people in this niche. But at the same time, it's a business, and businesses make money. So you got to get over it. Like my group was saying, you just got to get over it. All right. If you're offering a service and you're offering something of value and it benefits them, that's actually something that they want from you, then you shouldn't feel bad about it. And exactly. I think that's something I have to continually work on, because there's this whatever problems or issues that I have internally, and to let those things go. But I'm sure other people may feel the same way.
Yeah, well, I always feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like
you want to stay an extra hour or something for
I want to help people. You know, I'm not like that type of person that I'm on the dot. And
you were always trying to stay extra hours, and I was always like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because you love it.
Yeah, I really don't care. I want my customers to have the best
experience,
and the best experience, as well, the best quality of work that's coming out there, and
the
it's
best
not
creativity.
It's not half-assed.
Right.
I want to make sure they're fully satisfied before I move on, or say it's a wrap.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's true.
And I charge $3.50 an hour, but sometimes I just go over like 38 minutes over, and
it always feels like you going over.
But still, I really don't. I just want to make sure. I just don't want to half-ass them.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we established that pretty early on in our photography career when we were both shooting. It was like you got to make sure you get your shot.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much they paid you for in the end.
Yeah.
You just make sure you capture everything.
Yeah.
We never left.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never left anybody hanging.
Yeah, exactly. Like yesterday, had a really big wedding at Beverly, Wilshire. For those that aren't familiar with that area, it's near Rodeo Drive. Basically, Ferraris in every corner.
Yeah, really.
But anyways, we stood there. I mean, we didn't stand there. We were there for Joey and Dave's wedding till 12:30, just because I wanted to get my night shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she said that she didn't want to leave the crowd hanging or else everyone will leave the party, which, yeah, I'm fine with. So we waited to the very end till we get that shot.
Right.
Yeah, I just couldn't leave that dance without my night shot.
But you're also building your portfolio and you're being in a new place, and it's like you got to take advantage, right?
Yeah.
Right. The opportunities in front of you. So, yeah, I feel a lot better about that. And I think, other people who can kind of relate to like getting over their fear of sales. I think sales in general can be scary if you're not that type of person, which I'm not. I'm a very easygoing person and I don't like talking about money that much. And then like asking, like, okay, so now is the time to ask. It's awkward. To me, it's very awkward. So, but I think what we just talked about is going to make that a lot easier for myself and others. So, any closing thoughts for today's episode?
I believe, start slow. Just don't jump the gun.
Yeah.
If you have a successful business on the other side from podcasting or whatever you're doing, if you own 2 businesses and you're trying to grow one, just don't compare both of them as the same methods and everything. Every business is going to be different.
I definitely apply a lot of the lessons that we learned together and that we're currently learning to what we're doing
Which is
now.
really good, but just know that you can't accelerate it way too fast just because one business is doing well.
Yeah. I mean, we took a long time with the foundation.
But I mean, now you're thinking twice of every move that you're making.
Because you've already kind of been through
you've already been through it, and you know what to step away from and what to do and what changes to make.
Right.
Just because you know all that, it doesn't mean you should just
gun it.
Yeah, gun it. You still have to build that strong foundation, and you have to work your way up the ladder. Yeah, you're not going to be like, bam, 36,000 people are going to like you.
Very true. There's so many parallels to rock climbing. I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Very true, B. Thank you. Okay, so that was the episode today. I hope you enjoyed that. Leave a like on this video if you did like it, and you can also join the conversation below. And why don't you leave us a comment telling us maybe your hang-ups with sales and asking for the sale, and maybe ever feeling that guilt of charging, something that I'm currently dealing with and overcoming with your help. So subscribe to the channel for more stuff like this. And once again, my name is Megan.
Yeah, I'm Kevin.
Reminding you to get in the lab. We'll see you.
Later.
Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end to watch this. We really appreciate it. We're lucky to have you. If you enjoy and you dig what's going on over here, I would love for you to go to getinthelab.me/join, where you can join our email newsletter list. I send out one email every Wednesday talking about all the stuff going around here, back end stuff, front end stuff, and a lot of stuff that you don't want to miss. So good things. We'll see you next time. Peace.